Vayeitzei Yaakov mi Beersheva. The name of our Pasha is Yaakov went out. He left Beersheva. And that verb, Vayeitzei, to go out, is actually a word that we wouldn't normally associate with Yaakov. We read in last week's Pasha that Esav, Jacob's brother, Esav, he was the one who went out into the field to hunt. He was a man of the field. And Yaakov, Ishtam, Yoshev Oalem, he dwelt in tents. He was studious. He didn't go out. He didn't venture out. He was comfortable in his own space. And yet, after the conflict that he had with his brother, his mother, Rivka, told him to leave home and go to her ancestral home, to her brother Lavan. And this was a long, long journey of about 1,400 kilometers. And suddenly Yaakov has to go out of his comfort zone. He has to go to a new place. He has to deal with people who are not like his parents, Yitzchak and Rivka, who are righteous. He has to deal with the Lavan, who is a swindler, who is a hoodlum. And he has to live in his home. And then later on he has to deal with his brother Esav again, when he is reunited. And he has to deal with the people of Shechem and many, many difficulties. So Yaakov starts off life, he's a homebody. He's somebody who's very comfortable in his own space. And suddenly he has to leave his comfort zone. And he has to deal with people who are very, very difficult. But that's really what makes him great. And if we think what happens when he comes back after many, many years in the home of Lavan, and he sends a message to his brother Esau, because he's going to have to come up with him. He's going to have to bump into him again. And he says, Im Lavan garti va'eicha radata. I've lived with Lavan and I have delayed until now. And the word garti, as Rashi famously says, is a numerical value of 613. And he was saying to his brother Esav, he's saying, I have lived with Lavan, but I kept all of the 613 mitzvot. I didn't keep them at home, where I was sheltered, where I was insulated, where I was isolated. I kept them even in the house of Lavan. It was precisely because I left my comfort zone that I was able to grow into the type of person that I became. It's interesting that the Haggadah of Pesach, when we get to the main part of the Haggadah, the main story of the Exodus, it begins with Tzei ulamad. Go out and learn. Ma bikesh Lavan ha'arami lasot liYaakov Avinu. What did Lavan the Aramean want to do to our forefather Yaakov? It's a strange expression the Haggadah uses. It says, Tzei ulamad. Go out and learn. Michael, we just sit here. No, sometimes in order to learn, you have to go out. You have to see the world that's out there. You have to come into contact with difficult people. Even a great Torah scholar has to understand the world and how the world functions and how people function in order to give halachic rulings. So yes, we do feel more comfortable in our own space, in our own community, in our own Beit Midrash, in our own study hall. But there are times that we have to follow the lead of our father Yaakov. Vayeitzei Yaakov Beersheva. We have to leave our place. We have to encounter the world. And that is how we become great people. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.